Welcome to BearLakeBeef.com. Today we're going to highlight the Bear Lake Beef T-bone steak. One of the most popular and best cuts of steak there is out there. The beauty of a T-bone steak is that you're actually getting two cuts of meat in one piece right here. Over here on the large side, you get what's traditionally called your New York strip, your New York cut. Those are very popular cut of meat. On the other side, you get your filet, your tenderloin on this side. So you have very tender meat here and a good cut right here. This piece of meat is prized in butcher shops, steakhouses, and even by the home outdoor chefs. If you notice the Bear Lake beef, just like all of our other meat, the T-bone steaks are dry aged for 28 days. Starts to break down that muscle. You have all of that intermuscular fat. The great thing about that intermuscular fat is as we cook this steak, it will render, and it's going to leave pockets of juice and tenderness throughout this whole thing, even more than the cuts themselves that this steak comes from. If you notice too, it's a very large cut of meat. This is very good for that cowboy cut, for your big beef eaters out there. It's also good to share. You got the gentleman's portion on one side and the lady's portion on the other. What we're going to do with this steak today is we're just going to grill it up, traditional style, and show you how good this looks after it's been cooked on the grill for a bit. We've gone ahead and cooked this steak for about 4 minutes on the first side. We're going to flip it over now and let it start cooking on the other side. You can already see that you got the nice grill marks on there. The beef is already falling apart from the bone on the tenderloin side. This meat is going to keep cooking, and that intermuscular fat will render, and it'll become more juicy and tender as this thing continues to cook. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cook another 4 minutes on this side, and then keep flipping it until we get to its desired doneness. With the bone running down the middle, you want to make sure that you get that to about a 135 right by the bone. 135 degrees is going to give you that good medium to medium rare texture on the inside of the steak. So we're going to let it cook, and we'll come back to it. And just like that, through the miracle of time, we've got ourselves a perfectly cooked Bear Lake Beef T-bone steak. As you see here, the meat is tender, almost falling apart, perfectly cooked. What we're going to do is cut some of this open right now. Perfect. Perfect medium rare. And it's all the way through. My friends, this is Bear Lake Beef. This is our T-bone steak. If you want a good eating steak that you can just down by yourself cowboy style or share with a friend, you can have no better cut than the Bear Lake Beef T-bone steak. And remember, every good meal starts with a good steak.